Let's try this again, Morgie. Pretty lady. I'm wondering who can name this bobcat. It's been a little bit since we've seen this beautiful face on a live post. I'll give everyone a hint. Her name starts with an M. Hey, Doris. Wave back. Hey, Anne-Marie Stevens. Hello to you. Doing a take 2 on our live post today. Welcome, Daniel. Does anybody know who this beautiful female bobcat is sitting in the middle of the frame here? Giving everybody a hint. Her name starts with an M. She recently was featured in some recent Wildcat Sanctuary news. She was a part of a merge that happened. Jill Abbott coming across with the win. You are exactly right, Jill. This is Morgan. Ugh, I'm stuck behind this fence here. Welcome, everyone. Happy Wednesday. Hope everybody's doing well. You guys might have saw the exciting news that we posted yesterday, sharing an update on Glenn, Morgan, and Mr. Sarge. And everybody's enjoying their time here, walking around the habitat. These three were just fed. I'll walk over here in just a second and show you exactly where Glenn is. We see Morgan walking around here. Sarge, are you just the cutest button, Sarge? He says, yes, I am. Here's Mr. Sarge, keeping an eye on caretakers, wondering if they're going to give him any extra food. Isn't that just what all cats do, like tricking humans into more food, Mr. Sarge? Hey, Sarge. And you guys might recognize Sarge. Him and Glenn were part of a rescue that caretaker and AJ and I were able to participate in, where we drove, actually flew to California and then drove all the way back. This was actually this past summer. And if you might remember, the West Coast was actually getting hit severely with wildfires, ranging all the way up to Washington, all the way down to California. And we were actually able to free up some much-needed space at this wildlife rehabber in California for other cats that were being affected and displaced, or other animals, I should say, that were being affected and displaced by those wildfires. And we're so happy that we could offer these guys a forever home. You guys got to participate in the adventure of that cross-country drive to California. And it's just so excellent to see how much Sarge and Glenn are really kind of coming into their wildlife heart here at the Wildcat Sanctuary. Hey, Mr. Sarge. Salute. Ooh, just a little cleaning. Now the sun's shining. I'm going to walk over and show everyone where Glenn is. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about how incredible of a move this has been for Glenn and Sarge, as well as the addition of Morgan, and kind of creating a fully functioning Bobcat trio. They're not the only Bobcat trio on the block. Francis, Belvedere, and Autumn, who are just across the way. But let's go see if we can catch a glimpse of Mr. Glenn. And he, in particular, loves taking advantage of the natural amenities that are in our in our habitats. And I'm going to show you exactly what I mean by that. So, I can see a tree, but there is something within that tree. I'm going to slowly zoom in, and there's Mr. Glenn, sky high, enjoying himself densely in a dense kind of pine tree within his habitat. I can see he's got his happy face on. And Glenn, out of Glenn and Sarge, were a little bit more, he was a little bit more timid out of the two, a little bit more bashful. And we've noticed since his move here to Wildcat Pines that boy, oh boy, has he really come out of his shell. And what has helped him come out of his shell are these natural offerings that we put in our bobcat habitats for this exact reason. Those skywalks that you see, Mr. Glenn in his former habitat back in quarantine, if you'd come around the corner, he'd be a little shy and he would go kind of run and maybe hide under a perch or platform. But here in his new habitat, he can find security in the height of the skywalks, and of course finds security in the height of that tree, as well as this kind of dense cover that it's providing as well. And I can see Morgan, who's hopping up on her skywalk as well. And like I was saying, it has just really allowed transformation, if you will, with Glenn, and kind of helping him come out of his shell a little bit more. Obviously, our cats here at the Wildcat Sanctuary get to do whatever they want to do at their own pace. We're not going to, force Glenn to be, more extroverted. That's the last thing we would do. But what we are going to do is provide him opportunities for him to take advantage of, maybe he wants to feel more secure, and he can do exactly that. And sorry if it's a little hard to see, but there is a bobcat face buried in that tree there, and that's Mr. Glenn of Glenn, Sarge, and Morgan. Hey Beverly, thanks for joining us. Let's see here, go through some comments here. We'll stay zoomed in on Mr. Glenn's face there. Hey Susan, how fun to see them in the tree. You're right about that. We say natural free-roaming habitats, and when we say that here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, we mean it. I'm actually building trees within the habitat, or building around the trees, I should say. Belinda says, LOL, I don't see Glenn. I admit he is a little hard to see, way back up against the trunk of the tree there. And I'll just zoom out to give everyone some perspective as to just how safe he feels in his little tree castle there. You have all the skywalks kind of lining the habitat. Glenn can use those skywalks. He'll walk right over to the edge where we see kind of Morgan, and then hop up on that next level and then hop in his tree. I've seen him spend time in the tree that he's in. He loves the other tree on the left-hand side, and I'm sure he's going to love a lot of the tall grass and bushes that will be growing here soon once spring really comes around. Mr. Sarge, one thing you can count on Sarge to do is to insist that he should receive an extra piece of food each day. Isn't that right? You love the food, don't you, Mr. Sarge? Hey, mister, are you Mr. Bossy Pants around here? He says, no, that's Morgan, Miss Morgie. We let her do the bossing. But just to expand a little bit more on these guys' merging process, we talked a little about it in the post that we shared the other day. But Glenn, Morgan, and Sarge, really had quite an uneventful merging process, and that is a good thing. We don't want confrontation. We don't want, these guys getting overexcited about themselves. And I think that really just ties into I'll let you walk around, Mr. Sarge. I'll stay right here. I think that really just ties into the process that our staff has established during these merging processes, with small play dates where the cats aren't interacting with each other through a shared space, but through a shared wall where they can exchange scents with each other and smell and so on and so forth. And then it moves on to those supervised play dates, and then of course the full overnight play dates, if you will. And it all kind of adds up to these harmonious relationships. And mergers, they're not a guarantee. They don't always work. But we're happy to report that with these three, it seems like they're all getting along well and are respecting each other's space. And no cuddle puddles just yet. But hey, we're happy to see all three of these kitties getting along regardless. Let's see, I can't see Glenn in his tree. We'll observe Mr. Sarge here for a bit while I go through some comments. Christine's asking, what do they get to eat? We have a variety of options that we like providing our residents. Hey, thank you for the grumbles, Mr. Sarge. Are you grumbling at me? We offer our cats a variety of choices. Primarily, it's going to be beef or chicken, but we do offer wild game, such as venison, as well as partridge or quail, and really adds up, to create that diversity, and also, making sure that they're getting those essential vitamin and nutrients. And we'll be feeding things out like whole game. I saw that it was a game day, so some of the cats receive birds, and they actually get that whole bird. And there's going to be all types of vital nutrients that the cats are going to be getting from that entire bird. So that's just one kind of unique example, but primarily it's going to be either beef or chicken. But we do like providing some variety for our residents as well. Are you cleaning, Sarge? Let's see. Someone's saying they don't have a donate button. Darn it. Hasn't Facebook just been so funky lately, Sarge? Sorry about that, everyone. Sometimes that donate button can be a little funky. I do see that it is applied to this post, but have no fear. You can always go right to our website, www.wildcatsanctuary.org, to give a gift. Or, hey, just give us a call. That would be 320-245-6871. I know just in the past couple days, I've been able to chat with a couple donors, ones who I'm seeing here on Facebook, and have been able to say hi and give my thanks for giving your gift. So, hey, give us a call, or, of course, just go right over to our website. Hey, Sarge. You're very vocal when you clean, aren't you? And it might be hard to tell, but Sarge is a very petite bobcat. He's still, kind of robust, but man, oh man, and is he a tiny little thing. And frankly, Sarge, I think you are as cute as a button. Obviously a wildcat, and I respect you as such, but man, I just think he's adorable. There's Morgan walking along her shared wall. That's another thing that Morgan's been enjoying, is having Copper and Archer on the other side of her. Those boys seem to fawn over her. What boys don't fawn over you, Morgan? I'm going to swing around here and see if we can get a glimpse of Mr. Sarge on his skywalk, and I think we'll call that a live post for this afternoon. And I think Friday I have a live post planned for, that would be the one and only Queen Shanti Diva, as well as Chipino. We're just going to be putting some enrichment out for those two along their shared wall for them to enjoy. And that'll be happening Friday. So hopefully we'll see everyone on that live post then. Well, there it is. There's Sarge, Glenn, and Morgan's habitat. Sarge is doing some cleaning. Morgan's prancing around for Copper and Archer, who are just across the way along that shared wall. And Glenn is high up in his tree, staying safe and secure from all those bobcat cuties that Morgan's given you. Is that right, Mr. Glenn? Bobcat cooties, excuse me. Yeah, hey there. We're so glad you get to feel extra safe in your tree and using your skywalks. It's just so wonderful to see, Mr. Glenn. Even if it is hard to see you while you're actually in there. Well, everyone, I certainly enjoy that we're able to do a round 2 on today's live post. Wally and Marlene had other plans to enjoy themselves as opposed to playing with their scent and enrichment, but as we say here at the Wildcat Sanctuary, cats will be cats. For now, I hope everyone's having a great Wednesday. We're halfway through their week here. The cats of the Wildcat Sanctuary have so much to thank you for, especially now during Miracle Match when your gifts are tripled. 1, 2, 3, tripled for the cats of the Wildcat Sanctuary. Again, I do want to apologize if someone has given on this post. Facebook has been a little fussy lately and isn't showing me the donations I've received or who has given one. So I do apologize if you've given and weren't acknowledged. I'll definitely be sure to go through the comments at the end of the live post and make sure that you're acknowledged for your wonderful gift to the cats. Again, thank you everyone. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, and we'll see you on a live post soon.